It's not something that absolutely dominates the point.
No, I mean there's pluses and minuses to everything. Winston, you can control the verticality more. You can get that early cleave damage on the entry, especially versus Ryan. But in return, you're a little bit weaker on the point. You have to be jumping on and off.
So we'll see just what the true nature of the MVP offense is going to be here, and the true nature, it is revealed. It's 3-3.
It is 3-3, but with the Ryan.
Yeah.
So we're going to be seeing Gen.G try to get a lot of early cleave damage, make the fight rotate as much as possible around the point rather than on the point, while MVP is going to be looking to take it to the point.
Yeah, and MVP, I mean, I don't think this is going to be a very complicated rotation. They go there to the left, and next stop probably going to be directly to the point. They could go high ground, but going high ground here, it's a little bit weird because it's going to give Oberon more time to get more damage.
It does, but I mean, you want to remove the high ground advantage here entirely. The Boop is out trying to split MVP, but Oberon just getting so much cleave.
And that's downside about trying to secure that there. They gave Oberon exactly what he wanted, but oh, they're giving him a little bit more than that. Oberon couldn't get away, couldn't catch a heal in that entire time, and he's just taken down immediately. And now for Gen.G, there's just very little they can do the reverse course here. You've lost your Winston. Oberon, he doesn't even care that he was almost at Primal. He's already saying, it's time to go Ryan, it's probably over.
Well, right now, it's going to be Wuyall getting D-Mech. Rookie so high energy, is pushing so aggressively, and Rookie was the catalyst for this fight. Not just what we're watching right now in the cleanup, but when Oberon committed as Winston, he was close to that Primal. He went on to So What after he had dropped, but Rookie gives him a late bubble, and Oberon had already committed all of his cooldowns, so he couldn't get away, and then he just shot in the back as he tries to run. He's a big hitbox. You don't have a lot of HP.
Big bodies. But now MVP trying to snowball this forward. Rookie about to get the grab. Gen.G getting thrown very, very far back here. Graviton now built up for Rookie, and they already have one tick in the point. Gen.G, they have to make a move, even though they're going to be very, very outgunned. Here comes a grab, self-destruct, right on top, and they can't even get the point.
They can't even touch the point.
Just for good measure. Let's go. Didn't get anyone. Whatever.
That was a perfect grab. They were grouped high ground, rebuilding barrier, getting health back up. They had some of their ults coming online, but they had such a point, and then they can't even touch it because of the grab.
That
was the Rookie show.
Yeah.
That was the Rookie show is what it was.
That was really, really good for... Okay, were you just pushing towards the door? I thought you heard a knock.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, there was no knocks. The ZP is just convinced that we're hearing knocks from angry neighbors. It is... What time is it?
It's 7 a.m. It's 7 a.m.
People are going to work. They're waking up. They have nothing to complain about.
Or we're getting haunted again.
Or we're getting haunted at 7 a.m. The least haunting hour.
Look, are you just ghosts? They're moving on with the new age. They can't just only haunt at night. Yeah, exactly. Either way, that was a lightning fast time coming in from MVP. And you know the good thing about this for MVP going into this, as they move to the defense, is that you can feel good about any defense. You can put on a stinker here, and most likely you're going to have a quicker time. That's the power of putting on an offense that good.
The best defense is a good offense is a saying that's been used a very long time. I mean, it allows you to give the most, you get the most space, the most scoring potential, and then if you're just so far ahead of the enemy that you can afford to lose a bunch of time or a bunch of points, it doesn't matter because you're just so far ahead.
Meanwhile, Gen.G, we were kind of speculating, would we see something off the 3-3 path here? And it's looking like we might. Well, give it a moment here, the simmer, if this is what we're really going to see. And Oberon, this is going to be interesting. Is he going to be in the Sombra? I feel like he's going to go back and swap.
We've seen this a lot.
But he is going to Hammond.
Well, I mean, it's a triple DPS.
Yeah.
Triple DPS with the Hammond. We've seen this. Actually, are we seeing Quad? It looks like Dance is going to be playing the Hanzo instead of the Zen that we see here often. I actually do like this iteration more because you're more mobile while Zen is often gets hunted by that D.Va on this offense in this comp.
Yeah, and Mercy, Wakid in a lot of danger here. Fuse needs to get over.
Only one healer.
He's getting healed up. While this is going on, though, Wuyall eating a bit of damage, but just in the nick of time was Fuse to save Wakid, who is very close to getting isolated. But this 4 DPS setup, it's a heavy pressure that MVP, and again, MVP forced into indoor settings.
Well, right now as well, since Gen.G are running Oberon on the Hammond, it's Oberon that has to be making this point presence, if possible, Oberon or Wuyall.
Meanwhile, Blister on the Widow, just looking for heads. Just one head ammo, not beyond shield. Wuyall, though, taken down. A little bit unsuccessful poking that backline. Meanwhile, here comes Rookie. Time to melt everyone down. 3 kills from Rookie off the high ground. Exactly what MVP was looking for.
Picking up 4, making that rotation. Zarya can be mobile if you hit those right-click jumps correctly. He makes the all the way in high ground. Very high energy as well. Sometimes it can be it can be tough to utilize Zarya correctly against very mobile comps and get the energy up. But Rookie did, makes a rotation, melts people.
Gen.G now looking to go back in, and this is a little bit dangerous for them. When you run these high DPS setups, you want to win fast. You don't want a long, protracted fight.
No, the longer the fights run for first, the better it is for MVP. The worse it is, obviously, for Gen.G. They have Barrage, they have Valve, but they don't have the most important ult up yet all, which is Wuyall's EMP.
And they also haven't been able to pressure enough to even get a tick on the point. MVP's been very good about bouncing back and forth. Self-destruct going to be going up here, and it's just spacing. It buys more time. It forces Gen.G to reset and how aggressive they're being. And right now, MVP, they're in full control, even as the barrage comes down. So what, though? Gets picked, and as I say, that things get a little bit more grim, but this can still go well for a tanky team. Here comes the grab. They're moving in. They get danced down, and the fall through is there from MVP. Rookie just doing so much work at controlling these fights.
Also, the trance is going to be invested from Finn, just ensuring himself stays alive and also clearing the point. But Rookie, the grab was so good there, doing so much. Wuyall finally has EMP, but the problem is there's no barrage now. Wakid, use barrage, and your most effective combo with the EMP is the barrage.
I wonder if we see the swap of shame coming out from Gen.G where they swap everything but the Sombra here. It would make sense, or maybe they stay on.
Dance has Hanzo ult, but unless they're able to catch them in a corner, isolate them with the EMP, the Hanzo ult might not necessarily have a lot of value.
No, not quite. I actually think Swine would have been good here because they're going to have to swap almost everyone where they go for point B anyway. So it is a little bit weird, but for now, it comes down to Wuyall. Wuyall in the back, drops the EMP, Dragon right down Broad Street, Valentine down immediately, but they lose Fuse, the only person that can heal them here.
But Finn dies late to the Hanzo ult.
Okay, well, you know, Dragon was a little bit hungrier than normal, so this is a weird spot where MVP's down a lot of people. Gen.G doesn't have any great sources of healing.
He literally 1 HP, by the way.
yeah, it's just like, please, anyone heal. MVP, I think they've just lost too many. They're not going to recontest. Very good defense from MVP, though.
A very unconventional combo there. You see they engage at the same time, use the Hammond to try to knock them into the Hanzo ult, and somehow it does manage to catch Finn late.
They're not swapping.
A real turning pick.
They're staying on this for point B.
Well, they have Barrage, but they don't have much else. They're only going to be close to another Valk in the mines, but they're going to have to really hope for a lot of value from Barrage here.
This is a much less effective setup on point B. It's not that it can't work. It's just there's a lot more ways MVP can play around this, and Wakid isn't going to have anywhere near the free shots that he had back on point A, but hey, Glister was able to find Finn. Now they're hurting them into the left side. Barrage right for Wakid, rotating around. This could happen.
And look at the point presence here for Gen.G as well. That's the most important part. They need to bring him to the point where the Sombra, where the mines are going to get value. There's
Barrage.
The Barrage. Only getting Valentine, though.
The trade isn't worthwhile here. This is Assault. You need everyone up. And Gen.G, they're getting some pickoffs, but they're getting bloodied at the same time. You can't look at the point here. They're not able to maintain presence at the point. They did get one tick.
The picks are still coming their way.
They are. This is interesting because, okay, one tick has been given. MVP is coming back in.
So close to rally. It's the most important ult coming up for them.
EMP going to be invested here by Wuyall, and this might be enough now. They've definitely been poking down MVP. MVP hasn't been able to get good in return. It's up to this grab coming in from Rookie, and Rookie, off of that, they're able to get two. MVP able to roll back out. They do give up another tick, but it was kind of the weird back and forth we saw there that meant that Gen.G couldn't finish it out.
Yeah, I mean, there was also a great trance from Finn.
Yeah.
Wuyall drops the EMP finally late in the fight, but Finn able to keep everyone alive, allowing Valentine to pop the rally, to bring Rookie into the fight and set up the grab. Now Gen.G having to make the swap, but look at the time bank difference now. They have some cap time. They have 72.4%, but they only have 2 minutes 40.
And the problem is they're going to have to go through that teething phase, right, of building ults back up. They get chunked so heavily.
The health is so bad for MVP, actually.
It's on both sides. Yeah, MVP got a little bit more. Now they just got barrier to make up for it, and Gen.G goes, that's okay, we're going to back out. So that exchange actually not bad at all for Gen.G, given that they came in mostly without any ults.
Rookie has another grab. He just used it. He just used grab last fight.
Getting a lot of value off the secondary fire is all that can be said about that.
Rookie looking for this grab setup. He should know that Gen.G will not have their support ults yet. The longer they wait, the more likely they are to have maybe some mistimed ult tracking here. They need to look for an engage soon if they're going to get any value.
Well, Rookie right now is waiting. The grab connects, and immediately they just collapse on Fuse. They get the early pickoff, and you look to Gen.G, it's getting worse from here on out. Rookie, again, setting the tone
chasing. Rookie getting these cleanup frags, 25% to another already. MVP having a very good defense here. Gen.G just now getting the trance, still no other ults up yet.
Going to be difficult for them here, where again, they need some form of hero play, some early pickoff, and I mean, granted, Rookie's playing pretty far up, but pick on Rookie given everything's done, that would be super ideal. Just, is he gonna let it happen?
No, and his team was there on this high ground to support him as well as he came up the elevator. Look at this spam, 50% already blistered, 70. Gen.G just still building up these ults. MVP in a good position. And
they're buying a lot of time, and they're just going to roll that D.Va self-destruct down. Not really near anywhere where it needs to be, but Wuyao gets caught in rotation, going to lose the mech early. Very good for MVP. So what? Drops a shatter, knocks down one, fall through. Not entirely there, but it's been enough for MVP here so far. Gen.G going to drop the grab later into the fight, and both teams going back and forth here.
Overall dropping a great shatter though.
Yeah. It's not too bad here. Gen.G off the shatter, able to make a little bit more room, but the problem is MVP still has people alive and around, but now they don't have much room to give. They have to get back over. They have no more ticks to give. They have to throw people onto the point to try to delay, and the boop, the whip shot back the other way, sending Froppy away from the point, stopping him from delaying. Gen.G has now turned this something in their favor, and they're able to cap towards the very end.
Froppy got boppy.
Yeah.
Froppy got hard boppies. He tried to cast that beat. He gets hit with the flail, sending him back. He's not able to touch the ground. He's down before. But time bank here is really the most important factor. Only a minute on the board for Gen.G. The cap first, and then take that resulting like 30 seconds they get and move to second. Not a lot of time, and MVP working with almost 7 minutes.
I mean, what that means for Gen.G here, their best case scenario is they need to roll out, not just take point A, but dominate point A, right? Like basically first engage, cleanly win, snowball the point B, take that as well, get up to 4 points, hopefully have some time left, like even a second, which on its own is going to be very difficult to do given the lack of time they have. Then, to top everything off, they're going to have a dramatic reversal in defense, given that MVP just walked all over them on their attack.
For sure. I mean, their first defense looked like it could have been solid if Oberon hadn't had that overcommitment on Winston.
Yeah.
Have no cooldowns, but that was really off the great bubble of Rookie. So it's really, their defense could have been greater, but we don't really know. But for sure, their offense is where they have to turn this around. I mean, they have to get first at least. I mean, they would love to get first.
Oh yeah, I mean, if they don't get first here, I'm sorry, you are not holding off on first for 7 minutes. It's not happening.
No, definitely not. Gen.G rolling out here. Full 3-3 Reinhardt mirror matchup here against MVP. MVP not going to be holding close with the Winston. They are going to control the high ground, try to get that spam off for Rookie, try to get off for Froppy.
And for Gen.G, again, time is of the essence. They can't sit here dancing back and forth. They need to get to the point, and even if it's not ideal, they have to just hope something goes in their favor. Time, their biggest enemy.
I mean, they've already made it into a one fight. This is a single fight push here for Gen.G.
They're waiting a really long time. I mean, they're using most of their time bank just on rotations here. They almost get Froppy. That was a just absolutely devious dive. They end up pooping him away. He's fine. MVP buying time, again, letting Gen.G take as much time as they want. But now the fight is going to be taking place on point. Both teams back and forth here. MVP getting a little bit more aggressive. Both bubbles used early on. And look at that, Oberon isolated early. MVP able to do that. And that's going to be it. They're unable to stay on the point.
They do not touch point.
Oh, I mean, the fight wasn't going to go their way anyways.
Well,
but
Dance
just
was at 93% to trance. So they could have potentially delayed it, gotten some ults enough to maybe recontest. But that is forever. That's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone forever. It doesn't matter anyways. It's unlikely that result would have happened in their favor anyways, even with the trance. But when they get down 2 and they don't touch point, I mean, it's over.
Again, this is why we kind of set the stakes of everything there, right? Where Gen.G, they didn't have time. You can't play that the way you normally would with a long rotation looking for the best opportunity, because if you don't get it, you don't leave yourself any extra opportunities. And even if they did get it, their time for point B would have been miserable with no chance of completing with time left on the clock. But now, of course, we go into the twilight zone here where they're playing for a draw. The best they can do is a draw, and they would have to hold with no ticks given for about 7 minutes on point A. we would be looking at one of the top 3 holds in Overwatch history.
I mean, is there any hold that would even rival that hold?
I'm trying to think.
For like that amount of time? I don't even think there is. There's holds that have been crazy in terms of their circumstances, but in terms of total time bank, 7 minutes?
It would be one for the ages. But that said, not likely to happen, but hey, if we start getting down to about 2 minutes left again, going to be getting pretty loud over here. And it's 7 a.m., so it means we probably can.
We're free now.
Yeah.
We're free to get loud.
We're free. Time to get up. Here's your alarm clock.
MVP moving in here. The mirror matchup, both teams running this Rhino hair. No Winston for Gen.G over on that Ryan.
Early displacement. Glister getting put in a really tough spot early on. He's going to fall. Immediately displaced and dispatched. MVP. The early aggression here. And I got to say, if this legendary hold was going to happen, this is not the way you want it to begin.
Fuse picking up Finn, though. A huge pick, but without Oberon, there's no shield for Gen.G. This is just Brawl in the comp that can play around. So what? This should be MVP cleaning it up.
Yep. We were saying, you know, they need to hold for 7 minutes. I'm not sure they're going to be able to manage a full minute here. This is dominance for MVP. The displacement on the Glister, just too good early on.
Oh, and losing Oberon.
Yeah.
I mean, losing Glister as well. It's a stat that's thrown out in Overwatch League a lot about, like, oh, losing Zarya, you lose so many of your team fights, you lose. I mean, I don't know. I can't remember the exact stat.
It was like 7.5%.
Or you win, I guess, from there if you don't have Zarya, which makes sense because it's the primary damage dealer of your team and also one of the primary savers. Life, you know, it's just someone that's able to get a teammate, more than likely your Reinhardt or your Winston, out of trouble. So not having Glister, a lot of damage off the field early for Gen.G, and then Oberon's down, so there's no chance.
I'm going to say that stat there, I think it really does require a little bit of nuance. The 2 bits of nuance to it is that, A, I'm not sure what the overall stat is, but I'm pretty sure that first pick period is pretty rough in 3-3 no matter what. It's not really just a Zarya-specific thing.
I doubt highly, I should say, that whichever team loses first pick is more likely has like a 50% chance of winning.
Yeah, so that alone is bad enough, but also the context is always like, what was the circumstance of the pick? If you get picked off after setting up a grab and doing a ton of damage to the other team that they can't recover, you have a much better chance than 7% at that point. If it's a free pick and the other team's able to recover, well, yeah, you're probably done, but that also goes for almost any hero, really.
Yep.
So I don't think there's like some mythical, extra special Zarya like mojo that's going on there, personally. But either way, it's a really good early pickoff, and the 7-minute hold, not to be. 1 minute hold was not going to be.
No, not even 1 minute.
Yeah.
That's going to be MVP. Very clinical, that map. 2-1 now, MVP up. Moving in, our next map, I think we go
Escort
hybrid, right? No, Escort's our 4th.
Yeah, Escort is 4th.
Wait,
He is 4th.
We're on 4th. I can't count.
Can you math?
I can't count.
Has the spirit removed your ability to math?
It's very early in the morning. We've been going for a while. So, yeah.
Well, you know what? We're going to take a break here, maybe get a little bit of caffeinated beverage into Avast, go through numbers 1 through 9 once more time. Maybe not too much on 9. There's a bad history with that, but guys, we'll be right back. And we are back here looking at our fourth map, MVP, looking absolutely dominant on Volskaya just a moment ago. And now we get to see, can they finish things out strong as we move to Escort?
I find it likely, especially after an Assault performance like that. I mean, but who knows? I mean, the teams were relatively evenly matched. It seems like Gen.G likes to pull out comps that are a little bit less traditional, less 3-3 heavy. And that was, we saw in Oasis when they picked up that first map win.
Yeah.
But they've struggled since then to convert to on those maps that are extremely 3-3 oriented. It seems MVP, they're having much a better time of it, especially with Rookie. I mean, Rookie's just looking fantastic. He's looking really, really good.
Yeah, Rookie's been absolutely great. And I guess one thing I'd note here for Gen.G is they do want to do more unconventional compositions, right? You can get away with it on the first point of several different Escort maps. I mean, I'd say the really poster child is Route 66, right? Where that's where we actually saw sort of quad DPS start coming into vogue a little bit more often. When you think about games in Contenders Korea, it was kind of the Stormquake bread and butter, right? Where you would go for that on the first point of a Route 66. I don't believe Route 66 is the next map. I think it's Rialto again.
No,
so Rialto, that's a little bit trickier to get around, where you definitely have a lot more cover from things like early Pharas and otherwise, comparatively the Route 66, where you're just kind of all out there.
It is a lot less forgiving for running those very flank-heavy compositions. I mean, there's a lot more chokes. There's a lot. It's very enclosed. There's a lot of environmental hazards as well. So it funnels you very naturally. So it is tough to use some of those 3 DPS compositions or even the quad DPS compositions. So it favors the 3-3 much more heavily.
Definitely does. And I mean, the other thing too is that you kind of talk about teams growing in power over the course of a matchup. It does remind me a little bit of what we saw from our first series of the day, where you think back, O2 started out a little bit slow and just got better as the day went on. And definitely been seeing that here coming out from what we've seen here so far, where it's like, okay, you might lose the first map, but then you come back, it's like, actually, we're pretty good at this. We're just going to do better and better.
However, I mean, if MVP wins the fourth map, then they would look much better warmed up.
Yes.
And much, a little bit less close than it was between O2 and GC Busan Wave.
Yeah, it kind of had like the anime fight back in the first series where GC Busan like made it close. This just might be the steamroll where it's just like, he's too powerful, can't deal with it anymore. But MVP might be the case we're looking at here.
Might very well be. Just wading into the next map here. And I think also Rialto is something that definitely favors MVP moving in here. And we've talked about him a lot, but I mean, Rookie. Yeah. I mean, like, it's the Zarya map. Rialto is so good. It's like King's Row. It's a lot like King's Row, honestly. Even though it's an Escort, obviously not a hybrid. Yeah. But like in terms of how enclosed it is, how it naturally funnels you, and how powerful Zarya is. Now, you might be seeing that change a little bit with upcoming patches because of the Zarya right-click nerf.
Oh, yeah. And that,
less AoE damage.
To be clear, by the way, you look at that as, it's just a 1 meter change on it. It's not that bad. No, the actual effective thing when it comes to AoE in video games, changing number by 1 usually is dramatic. And that radius nerf to Zarya is really big. Like, that's going to have a ridiculous impact on how quickly Zarya's get gravitons. And don't believe some of the stuff put out there where people's like, oh, but this Zarya is a left-click Zarya, and this other Zarya is a right-click Zarya. I got news for you. They all use their right-click a lot.
Especially in 3-3 setups where it's easy to get a lot of spam damage.
Yeah, I'm just taking my time soapbox here. That is the biggest lie I've been told. It's like, oh, it's only going to hit some Zaryas more than others. No, it's hitting all Zaryas like a absolutely out-of-control truck. Don't believe it. It's going to hurt all Zaryas, period.
It will. It really will. So it can change how strong those heroes will be in conjunction with some of the other nerfs. So, I mean, who knows exactly how powerful it'll be. But right now, Zarya is the king. It's the damage dealer of the composition in the 3-3 compositions. That is where you see most of your damage, your focus fire coming into play is from your Zarya player.
Yeah.
So, and Rookie's just been doing very well this series. And on Rialto, which is such a Zarya, and just a map that favors Zarya, like we talked about, I think we can see a lot of impact from him.
Yeah, I mean, right now, this is definitely MVP's game to lose. But you know what? Overwatch, it's a game where we see teams come back more often than not. We see ridiculous comebacks, and this is a meta also where sometimes some losses look perhaps a little bit more severe than they are, where, I mean, don't get me wrong, that last Assault map, that was pretty decisive, but on the same note, it is just a few bad fights that can also make it look a lot worse than perhaps it actually was. So Escort, I find, is more of a map type where things get evened out a little bit more just by its very nature. You get more fights, period. You don't get as much gain from a big one fight. So, you know, we'll see exactly where this goes and if Gen.G is, in fact, able to pull this back and force a map 5.
And we will have to see. Still waiting for the teams to filter in. Obviously, they're having some problems. It looks like they're just being a little slow.
Yeah, I mean, It's either that or our ghost problem is just spreading, and suddenly their lights are flickering on and off. And
I don't think they have to worry about that.
Really? You think just being across the other side of the globe is helping them right now?
No, I don't think that. I think just they don't have to worry about lights because they're just they're not playing.
What if their monitors are flickering on and off?
Well, that's not.
I mean, it's
different.
It is different, very technically. I mean, look, I'm trying to spread ghost stories here. What do you want from me? I'm trying to peddle.
That's true. You are peddling very, very hard here. You're doing a lot of peddling. I
mean, it's also could affect our viewers too, right? Like, I don't mean to spread this curse to you, even though I do, but you have to hear weird knocks going on right now. Your lights flicker a little bit. You might be able to blame this broadcast. We were patient zero.
Wow. I'm glad to know. I'm glad to know that we're just a pandemic about to happen.
I mean, it's something that people have said of me many a times here, because people always have the impression I'm sick. I'm not always. I just have bad allergies.
True. I have to listen to them.
Yeah.
I have to listen to a lot of allergies in my time.
Just not on broadcast, because then I resort to nasal sprays to mask the issue while not on.
It's like a fine mist
of
Afrin. It's like being in a jungle.
Literally.
Clawing through the moist air, and it's just all medicinal sprays.
You've been hanging around Golden Boy too much. You said moist.
I mean, I used moist once. It's a word.
Yes, but it's a word that Golden Boy uses a lot, that a lot of people are just like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I like you, Alex, but you said moist. I'm going to stop saying that word now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad we've had that tangent. Both teams still taking their sweet time, huh?
Yeah.
What's up, Korea Contenders teams?
They're planning. They're
planning.
They're going for enhanced strategy meetings.
There's nothing to plan about, Gen.G. Okay, you're getting owned by Rookie. Just get in there. Let's get it over with. Come on. Obviously, I don't know if they're 100% going to lose. This is I'm just joking. I mean, they could come out and look very good.
Yeah.
I'm just really impressed with Rookie so far this series. So
this is what the problem is. He's Rookie, so you can't actually use the phrase "rookie" to describe anything here. It's just it's too redundant. You can't be like, "Hey, Rookie is Rookie of the Year." It's like, well, he would have been. He's the only person named Rookie. It's like, no, the other definition.
You could still call him Rookie of the Year.
You could.
His name's Rookie. It isn't disqualified. It's not qualified from getting. If there's another person named Heisman, they're still allowed to get a Heisman trophy.
Have we ever had that? I don't think we've ever had that.
I don't know.
Well, either way, we're still waiting.
Well, very likely. I mean, I think we might just need to throw it to break.
Yeah.
Just throw it to break a little bit here. So we'll be back very soon. Just waiting for the teams to get in.
That's all right. We'll be back soon. Well, guys, we always say Overwatch is a bit unpredictable nowadays. That even counts the timers. They're all over the place. But you know what? It's for the better. We're back earlier than expected, and hopefully the teams are just about ready to go because we have gone through
I hear the sweet map music.
We've gone through every ghost story imaginable, guys. Would have gotten a little bit grim.
We have.
Yeah.
We have. You've also used the word grim a lot so far.
I really have. I don't know.
We've had a lot more grim and moist counters than generally.
Is that a counter? Like, does that counter need to be started?
I don't know if there has to be a counter, but
Dark.
We are finally getting in here. Our final map, potentially our final map, that could go to map 5, is Rialto, our escort.
Yep.
And both teams just filtering in. And like I said, to bring us back on track a little bit, I favor myself. I think MVP is going to look very strong on this map, especially based around Rookie's play because it's so Zarya dominant. Gen.G, they're not out of the running, but it's clear that they're very comfortable with control and not as much with other game modes.
Yeah, and I mean, that also could go to the entire idea that, look, you've made adaptations to your roster and otherwise. The first map that people tend to get down is control, and then everything else comes after. So the idea that a team could look disproportionately better on control, not too crazy. Although sometimes it happens the other way around where, you know, if you're in the Outlaws in the inaugural season and everyone's playing Tracer and you don't feel great about it, you know, sometimes not as good.
Sometimes you're not a control team.
No, sometimes you're just not a control team. But we're moving in. We do have a substitution. I like that UI. That is nice. It's going to be Glister out, Stalker in.
You know, I'm very appreciative of the fact that a lot of Korean Contenders names, they always use 3s instead of Es.
Yeah.
We have Jasper with a 3, Stalker with a 3.
And people thought Leet Speak was dead.
Leet Speak's not dead.
It's not. It's not dead in Korea.
Still alive and well.
It is true. Somewhere out there, I'm sure someone has the classic Discord ID of like 1337. Got to be, or the battle tag and BNet.
Very
thing
possible.
You never change.
Gen.G rolling out on this offense. Have Fuse here on the Widow, just going to be scouting from the spawn. Probably going to be making the swap very soon. I doubt Fuse will be staying on that, as MVP are holding very close.
MVP is definitely pretty close here. Not so close that they could get booped into the water. Just, you know, the little bit of dividing line there. They move in early. So what? Gonna get the shield. Reasonably well protected, but booped out. No more shield here. Isolated and down. Gen.G with the displacement. They knew nothing was gonna be able to save them there. And it was just very well executed.
Yeah, that was very good. Some delay just coming out as Froppy actually gets the boop onto Oberon. It's not a huge delay necessarily because they're right next to the spawn. The charge will bring him right back into the fight, but a very good boop still, and good isolation on the Sowat, recognizing Gen.G recognizing the bubble had been used so they could get him.
The last words of Froppy there were justice for Sowat.
Justice for Sowat. As now, MVP moving back onto the point. Oberon, he's back. He's here to fight. Both teams equal.
Regrouped, ready to go, and it's going to be Gen.G again, taking initiative, looking for Sowat. Bubble already used, so MVP going to be backing up a bit. They didn't like how that was approaching. They're going to let their cooldowns reset.
Stalker very high energy right now. Also a little bit ahead in the grab game. Finn has that transcendence very early. MVP could be looking for the engagement.
MVP moving a little bit forward right now, and now Gen.G
unlikely to take the fight now.
Yeah, they're trying to push forward, and here comes MVP. They decide to push forward. Transcendence out early. They're looking for the Zarya pick. Shatter used. Doesn't get much from Oberon. And MVP, they're in a good spot here. They've dealt with the first wave. Here comes the second wave. Graviton is out. Self-destruct coming on in. Back and forth is both, and Gen.G getting the better of it. Wuyall's bomb off the grab. Enough.
That should be it. Great grab, by the way, from Stalker. The trance has been traded. He holds it through the trance. Finn just sitting in the corner, playing those corners there. But the bomb, or not the bomb, the Graviton, I should say. Stalker's not playing D.Va. That was a Jasper, or not Jasper. Wuyall. You know, you get confused a little bit. Wuyall's bomb, they had pressured the Ryan shield very heavily onto Sowat after the grab comes out for Stalker. Gets plenty of picks there. Now Gen.G moving forward, just peeking forward for some of that poke. Get ready for the next fight.
Meanwhile, we got MVP here on the top. Gonna be dropping down. Sowat eats a lot of damage even early. This is gonna slow down how aggressive he wants to be. Both teams kind of swapping off positionings there as Froppy was going a little bit deep, but here comes a grab from MVP. Ball through coming thin. Self-destruct. Up into the sky, coming down, connects on the fuse, and the boop. Did he go? No, he didn't go in the water. He's still safe.
He caught the ride.
He's still alive.
He caught the ride. He's able
the RG.
to rotate.
Oh, man. The gondola there, right when you need it most. Going to drop the hammer. Knocks down Jasper back on the point, but not going to be enough. MVP still in a very good spot
this
here.
Is really tragic for Gen.G. They get the shatter
brings down Jasper. So then, as Stalker gets the ult, he decides to throw it out there because there's no D.Va to eat it, but Oberon's already dead. And that was one, and Dance had committed the trance, wasn't able to save him in time. So they had no cleanup because Wuyall didn't have bomb. So now MVP able to hold it very aggressively, and that was after they used 2 very big ults.
That was after Gen.G got saved by a good-natured Canal rider person.
It is. Gen.G moving back in. Not a lot of ults to their name. MVP looking very strong here, especially with Rookie coming up on the grab.
MVP going here on the bridge. It is risky. It's a high boop risk. But Rookie gonna go a little bit back here. Hold on to the grab, and MVP, they're conceding a bit of space. They didn't like how that was looking.
I mean, just run. That's a classic tactic where you can just run away from trance now because you don't get any value post-fight because the armor decays. So no reason to engage the trance if you don't need to.
Meanwhile, can move back over, rally up, and oh, Brigida just getting melted on the ground. Rookie there for the follow-through. And this is looking very good from MVP after that shatter from Soa.
T-Mech is even better. But it's going to be Wuyall making a smart move, jumping off. Deciding not to stick around, he's just going to jump off. MVP holding there and getting the rally out of Gen.G.
Where are things going wrong for Gen.G here?
I mean, Gen.G are not getting any value just yet out of their... I mean, it's just a poor ult usage so far. Definitely very poor ult usage. They used those ults in that earlier fight. They used rally right there, didn't get a lot out of it. Now they're having to come across the bridge, but MVP have plenty of ults here. 5.
Yeah, it's going to be Grav Bomb versus Grav Bomb at a minimum. And Grav going to be hitting first here from Rookie. Jasper going in. Eden on the other side. Stalker getting nothing. Jasper connecting. And this is very good for MVP here once more. Froppy goes for a dip, but might not.
Oh my goodness. And then they commit the beat as well. Gen.G deciding. Fuse there. Dropping the beat, winning the fight. So good job from them from committing. The rotation was very interesting.
Ends up working out Gen.G's favor, but man, did MVP buy a lot of time.
They did, and on top of that, they still have both support ults moving into this fight. They have the Shatter, they have triple support ult, actually. So MVP should be looking to take a very aggressive fight, walk forward, and knowing Stalker does not have grab, and just use support ults to walk over the front line of Gen.G.
A little bit more complicated here where they have to go up high first. Gen.G a little bit splitted, but MVP goes, you know, we're going to take the staircase. We're going to try and bully our way over. Gen.G conceding a bit of room here. I think they realize the storm that might be coming for them here, but both teams taking their time. This does favor MVP.
It does favor MVP. The longer the fight takes, I mean, they can take an aggressive fight if they want, but they're looking for the opening. The rally is out. I'm assuming MVP now answering the rally, and they're going to look for the next fight. They're going to look for their next support ult usage, potentially.
And this is Soa just moving up threateningly, but he is losing a lot of shield as he does that. So that's why I guess see him back up and go, you know, let's give this barrier a little bit of time to recharge.
Over and on the cart. A lot of Ryan games happening. The shield presence. There's the push, trying to isolate.
That was a good chance for Soa, potentially, and the shatter. Gen.G moving forward, kind of ignoring the Ryan for a moment. So what? A little bit isolated, charging on back, reforming the front line, as it were. Both teams dancing the dance here, but no one down yet. Valentine, though, picked off. In return, on the other side, MVP gets way more off their grab. And after the dance, it's MVP standing on top.
Great grab from Rookie. So what? Staying alive there, enabling himself, along with the beat from Froppy, to clean up the damage swing there. There was no support ult just left for Gen.G, and now
10 seconds.
Can they even touch point?
Yeah, this is the real problem for Gen.G, is that they just have to recklessly get to the point, and MVP might be able to stop this.
Touch point.
Yeah, and they're not gonna. They don't even get there.
No, not even close.
So
Fuse tried to go over the high ground, but I mean, even if he managed to touch it, would have cleaned up way before the rest of Gen.G could.
There is a waiting crew there. I don't think he was getting to that payload even in the best timeline.
More likely than not. MVP putting up a great defense. Pretty powerful what I was honestly predicting. I think they're looking extremely strong on Rialto, but it's not over yet by any means. Gen.G now on their defense. Push it to just about halfway-ish, maybe a little bit more to that second cap.
So definitely going to be an uphill battle for Gen.G if they want to force a map 5, because it's not about, you know, just having a good defense. There has to be an absolutely exceptional defense. One where, realistically speaking, the best case scenario is probably them getting a full point hold, because holding second there where MVP did for a long period of time, while possible, not super likely to be repeated. So I think for Gen.G, their victory chances here, their ability to potentially bring this to a map 5, it really all comes down to point A.
Point A is going to be the crucible for Gen.G here in this upcoming defense. MVP just doing the continuous generator of energy here, the ham encircling the pillar.
Look, power has to be generated for the Overwatch world somehow, and it's done right here on Rialto. But the Hammond.
Both teams just ready to set up. A little bit of shenanigans happening. Gen.G rolling a pretty standard 3-3 here. They have the Reinhardt, no Winston, no Rissa, nothing else. Just a standard 3-3. MVP also looking to make those swaps. Rookie going to be rolling out Widow, but just looking for that early pick, the early scout, and unlikely to get anything.
Yeah, Rookie, like I said, it's sort of, hey, if I could get early pickoff, great. The 1 in 100 chance doesn't quite strike. But MVP, you have no reason but to run a 3-3 here, given the fact that you've been beating Gen.G in the mirror all night long.
All right, now Gen.G trying to hold this high ground, looking for an opening, but Fuse so low, being chased, able to get out, and now Gen.G having to back up. They've used their bubbles as well, so they can't really contest the cart.
I mean, the problem there for Gen.G is that they are able to back out. It's a full team fight loss, but they definitely lose positioning from that.
MVP rotating in high ground, taking their tanks, going to be just putting Jasper on the cart, moving it forward, and they're going to look to potentially sandwich Gen.G, as Gen.G are actually rushing Jasper.
They're diving on the Jasper. It's successful. They get the DMAC. It's good timing here from Gen.G. MVP not really expecting it, though. If Jasper on the payload was looking for the flank or the top, and now it's a 6v5 opportunity for Gen.G. They punish So What immediately, and this was really smart from Gen.G.
They recognize that the team was split, as Finn, though, gets the pick onto Dance, moving forward. Gen.G just cleaning up. That was very recognizable. As Finn gets another pick. Ooh. Excuse me? Finn comes back from spawns and gets the second support. Finn killed both supports in that fight.
I do not know the angle that he got there, but Finn has just completely changed the angle of the game. MVP, free payload progress here. Gen.G, remember, they really have to stop this at point A, so they're already in do or die, arguably one fight territory in effect. We'll see what they do here. They come out the rally early. And for now, it's just going to push MVP back a bit.
MVP just trying to back away from the rally, recognizing they didn't have it just up for Valentine. Just run away, let the value be pretty minimal. Now looking to re-engage for this next fight when their ults are up.
MVP about to do just that. Finn holding in the back, Transcendence ready. Gen.G, meanwhile, grab, bomb ready, but tricky to land a good one here. They're going to open up with the grab. Here it comes. Gen.G moving forward. They don't invest the bomb there. We all didn't like what he was seeing, and instead it's going to be MVP going the other way. Their grab is out. Here comes the bomb. Once again, get against Rookie. And the bomb from him, actually pretty effective, even as MVP was going for a combo of their own.
But, so taking up 2, but the health, the man advantage, too strong for Gen.G here on the defense. And Wuyall, interestingly enough, decided to hold the bomb in the combo and instead wanted to use it defensively. Yeah. Is what it looks like. And now when the engage happened for MVP, he drops the bomb in, waiting for the bomb of MVP. They're waiting for Jasper's bomb. So Wuyall making an interesting play, but one that worked out.
I mean, we had both bombs going off at the same time, and in that case, even with the aid of the grab, it wasn't enough for MVP, whereas Wuyall just found the right moment.
Gen.G now having a pretty good first hold here. About a minute left for MVP. They have the beat. They have the shatter. This is their opening. This is MVP's opening.
MVP moving forward. So what? I think he knows that, going very aggressive here, eating a lot of shield damage. A lot of damage to himself in the middle of it. But reestablished, going forward, drops the hammer. This is going to be enough.
Dance is down. He's off the map.
He's gone. MVP.
Wait, no, he got the gondola. He got the gondola. But it's over anyways. It's over anyways.
I'm glad the gondola could very much continue to be in the favor of Gen.G, even if it's not going to matter.
It was still a huge boop anyways, because even though Dance does not die, he does not go off into the canal, he's not in position to pop trance to save his team. So still huge. Either way, the shatter followed over the boop onto Dance, ensuring that MVP can cap that first. However, a good first defense for Gen.G.
Gen.G, the problem is that they needed more. 2.5 minutes to hold where they're at, really almost 3. It's a very hard ask.
Now, Gen.G moving in. They have grab bomb combo. They're going to have both support ults very soon. MVP not working with nearly as much. Have to look for a solid rotation, a better usage.
Oberon eats a lot of damage here. The rotation not as good. It's going to force a Transcendence early from Gen.G. They might have like grab bomb, though, going to be heading out with a counter to self-destruct the other way. Where is it going to fall? And in the end, neither team losing at all as both self-destructs were used. But now Valentine caught a little bit out. Gen.G working with advantage here in the end.
Oberon just getting 1 even, while MVP, while So What being denied his shatter. Now it's just going to be cleanup.
Oh, what happened there from Froppy? Going to get the boop off on the Stalker. The supports of Team MVP making that a little bit more exciting towards him. Still, though, not enough.
There are a few should be able to taxi back those Gen.G spawners, though, because MVP, they got a little staggered on that offense. They have to come back So Gen.G will be there to fight them on the corner. However, not a lot of distance.
Well, here we go one more time. MVP moving forward. Barrier, main thing they're going to have to use here a little bit sooner than not. Froppy holding in the back. That's why we're taking a look at him now. Both teams biding their time. Froppy, not quite the time to use Barrier.
Rookie almost has this grab, by the way.
Yeah, he's building it right now for MVP. And remember, this is one fight territory. They win this fight, the series is going to be theirs. And now Rookie making his move, moving forward. Jasper already demeched. And maybe it's not the time to use the grab. You're down your Diva, and MVP giving up a bit of space.
They're going to commit to the grab if they survive this combo because the transit.
Oh,
out.
They're not surviving.
So
not in the
big.
least.
However, this is actually in favor for MVP. That is grab bomb and trance out for Gen.G. They have Shatter, they have Beat, they have Rally coming up. MVP, they're going to have their combo soon. They don't have any support ults besides the Rally, though. So Gen.G have to make a play. They have to set up Oberon. They have to use these support ults extremely aggressively, knowing MVP does not have either.
It's going to be very interesting. MVP has left this now to the final fight. A map 5 could be in our future here. Gen.G just gets one more good fight, but it's going to be hard. MVP coming in from the top. A lot of heavy pressure on the Rookie. Rookie almost gets bopped immediately, but he's able to back out, gets healed.
The longer this fight runs, the better it is for MVP. They're going to get the combo. Their support ults are coming up.
They're looking for it. The grab's eaten! The grab is eaten! Wuyall denies Rookie when it's needed most. Gen.G now fighting back. Final 15 seconds. MVP. They're going to have to look to So What. And it's going to be the Rhyme battle. Oberon versus So What. The stakes here. Map 5 potentially in the waiting as Oberon moves over to the right. Looking for it. So is So What. Shields for Zarya is both used. Oberon holding on to Shatter. Overtime in progress. And this is absolutely tense.
There's the Shatter out for So What. Puts down on the ground, but Oberon a much better Shatter. There's the grab as well.
Grab's coming in. Wuyall doesn't want to wait. Self-destruct coming in. Could this be the difference maker? The shield's broken. And no, Oberon is down. MVP still in it. The barriers from Froppy. And MVP starting to fight it back the other way. Finn doing so much damage to the backline. Rookie looking for the final bits of melting here off the grab. MVP, they really played with faith there at the end, but they finish it out. It's a 3-1. They take the series.
And the longer the fight ran, the better it was for MVP because Rookie was out building.
Yeah.
Rookie was doing so much damage. They survived the combo as well. Wuyall's bomb did not get the value they needed post-Shatter. So MVP just able to play the long game and win.
How do you erase the dishonor of having your Graviton be eaten? Build another grab and
just
still win the fight with the grab.
Build another grab in the same fight that it was eating. That's incredible. Yes. Wuyall doing his best to remove Rookie from the equation, but he cannot be stopped.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for Wuyall there. Wuyall had an absolutely insane play where that was the #1 thing Gen.G needed, and then Rookie goes, that's cute. You think that I only had one Graviton. Let me show you my true form. A second Graviton.
Truly incredible building from Rookie. But MVP, going well. I know, I'm just going to say, my prediction was met. MVP taking that last map. 3-1. Still a solid series. I think Gen.G really pulled it back. Despite the loss, if they had played like that on Volskaya, probably would have been a lot closer series, but obviously that's...
They took Volskaya off. Volskaya was just like,
hindsight's 2020.
We're not worried about Volskaya. Just worry about map 4.
But Gen.G, they look good. MVP looked a lot better. And it's even more incredible considering the fact that Gen.G has players, Fuse and Oberon, from the old MVP stakes roster of last season, have Overwatch League, ex-Overwatch League players, and MVP space is entirely rookies, except for So What.
Well, you know what? There's a lot of good talent out there, especially when you look at Korea, where a lot of these players very well could be future faces of the Overwatch League, and in some cases, players that get their return route to the Overwatch League, if you look at players like Wuyall. But guys, it has been a great time being with you here tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back next week for more Overwatch here at Contenders Korea.